Yo, what's up guys, Brandon Wolf bringing you another matchup guide video. I know it's been a while since we've done one. I plan on doing more in the future. We are going to be playing against Olaf on Fiora. Let's jump right into it. So first and foremost, let's jump into the runes here. We are taking Conquer, Presence of Mind, Alacrity, Last Stand, Bone Plating, and Unflinching. Bone Plating just to take on some of the trades when he goes for all-ins, and then Unflinching to help us with the slows from the axes as well. Looking at Olaf's runes 2, he is going Conquer, Triumph, Alacrity, Last Stand, Approach Velocity, and Biscuits, which, I mean, is pretty standard for Olaf. The Approach Velocity allows him to get more movement speed when he hits his axes so that he can actually chase you down. So what's the biggest thing that we're looking for, right? The biggest thing is we don't want to get hit by the axes. Now, there's two ways to play this. You can take Teleport or you can take Ignite. I prefer taking Teleport because I can just buy Executioners for 800 gold and it gives me AD, so it's not that bad. And the reason we're going to buy Executioners is because of his passive. So he's going to gain more lifesteal based on his missing health, which is scaling as well. So as he levels up, it goes from 8% all the way up to 25%. So it's kind of similar to the Warwick matchup in the sense that we will need to have healing reduction. So for the first levels, we can actually look for an all-in pretty early. We don't really need the Ignite or anything like that to kill him as long as we can get a good burst off, basically, and avoid letting him take any trades. So if we can avoid the Q, avoid his Qs in lane, then we can look for all-ins. So we'll see. He's going to try to throw axes. We're going to try to use movement speed on vitals to avoid getting hit by them. And that's basically what our level 1 looks like. So as long as we can dodge that, that's perfect. We can take more, and then we won that trade, so we just call it off, right? So at this point, we're just going to use our Q to try and hit minions and weave in between, and then also be a little bit aggressive too. Once we got that level up, we can actually go in with a slide parry here and then push him out of lane. So now what we want to do, another thing to keep in mind, is that his Q cooldown is reduced every time he picks up the axe. So if I can avoid allowing him to pick up the axe, then he has to wait 9 seconds to throw it, which is quite huge. So now that we got that level advantage, we took a good trade. Now he's low HP, and now from this point, we need to be able to control the lane and not allow him to play the game anymore. Possibly get a slow push going, look for a dive, maybe call our jungler up, maybe go for a dive ourselves, or just slam the wave and recall and make sure that we have enough gold to actually get executioners on the way back. So we're just continuing to trade. Now he's level 2, but I have a massive lead, so I can start slowly pushing this in. Also, obviously, trying to avoid the axes because he does have Ghost and he has Ignite, which is also the standard for Olaf. You're going to see a lot of Ghost, you're going to see a lot of Ignite, or you're going to see like Ghost and Flash. So Olaf is almost always going to go double offensive runes, almost always. And that's why we get a little bit of an advantage when we take Teleport instead of Ignite, because if we do lose the trade, then we can get back to the lane and be full health and be able to reset, basically. Now, when somebody has double offensive runes like this, and we're able to get in front of the wave like this and have control, then he can't do anything because he can't just recall and then come back to the lane. Now, notice how we're just pushing this extremely slowly. Luckily, we do have Kha'Zix on the top side, so we can ping for assistance. Make sure that we wait for next wave to hit here and have a huge wave slam in so that we have a lot of time to work with. A lot of time to work with on actually getting this dive going. And I believe this does turn into a dive as well. You'll see that I'm pinging on the way here. Kha'Zix notices, and now we move up and we look for a play here. So, but this only works out. I mean, obviously, if I didn't have a jungler, I would still probably go for this. And when you go for a dive, you always want to start with parry. There was a video we did back a few months ago about that. Always start with a parry, then auto E, Q, E2. That's our biggest combo. And then dives like this, especially when enemy doesn't have teleport, if I was to solo dive and just get the kill, it's actually really worth it, right? So even if we trade this, it would be not be first blood, but if you were to get first blood, you get the extra gold. But we're going to trade kills, but he's going to miss out on all these minions, right? So we get a big lead off that. So this would be an opportune time to go for a solo dive as well. Now, we don't have to because we have him here, but just remember that if you do have to, you want to go for that parry and then auto EQ, E2, and that's basically how you want to go for that dive. And also, what that does, how that sets you up as well, is if you do miss the parry, then you know that you can just back up. If I missed the parry like that when I was trying to dive right there and Kha'Zix wasn't there, and then I would have just walked away. I'd be like, all right, well, that was my dive attempt and I messed up. So now, 5 CS on Olaf, 17 on us. We've got a pretty decent lead already, 1,200 to 800 on the gold. Not enough to buy executioners quite yet, but we're in a good spot. Right now, the wave pushes back to us. And now keep in mind, if we were both to trade kills there, the wave would also push back to us there too. So we still have control, able to get an XP lead and keep that growing, right? So at this point, we want to just basically control the wave, have really good wave management, slow push it back. There's no reason for us to worry about trying to push because I have the lead now and I want to fight. So now that I have a level advantage because of that first wave, I want to have control and I want to go for the fights. So we're just going to slow push it back and then look for good trades and then try to set ourselves up for a dive again, basically. And all this stems from the level, it's literally the level 1. It all stems from the level 1. Can you take good vitals with your Q, use the movement speed to avoid getting hit by his axes, and if you can win the level 1, that's all you have to do, get a decent trade in the level 1 and then get to level 2, then you can just win this lane hard. That's all it matters. It's like Olaf is going to try to coin flip you level 1, and if you survive that, he can't play the game. It's really just that. It's just the level 1. So we survived the level 1, and now we have this massive lead where I'm going to try to punish him for trying to get any minions. All he can really do is just throw axes on a 9-second cooldown and hope that he's going to get a few out of it, right? And then obviously when the wave actually slams on the tower, he'll have the opportunity there as well. But notice we've got the wave stacked, so I'm going to put a little pressure, make it seem like I'm going to try to dive him again, which is going to pull Kane here. And notice how I just ignore him, right? That's another thing, is that I'm just completely ignoring him just to get the tower plate. I don't really care that he's level 4, he can't really kill me. So I just want to take the tower plate, which is great, get that 175, and then I do get chased down, but we're going to use our ult defensively, get the movement speed buff from that, and just basically walk away. We know that once that axe comes out, we just parry it, and boom, it's not like he has flash or anything. He could try and ghost, but we have flash up as well, so it would just be a trade, so he can't actually get the kill. Also, Olaf misses out on more CS that was under the tower. And here we go, we just reset, and this is why we have teleport, in case we take a bad trade. Now we can come right back, we purchase executioners, and we are right back to the laning phase here. So once again, we want to just put this into a freeze, control the wave, and make him feel very uncomfortable and look for any trades that we can possibly get. Or we don't have ulti because we used it before, but we're level 6 and we have executioners, so we're really looking for that. We do get ganked again, but I have spent my gold. So why am I going for this fight? Is because I have 2,200 gold spent compared to the 1,400 that Kane is sitting on and the 600 that Olaf is sitting on. If we look at their items, they don't really have good items, and I have much more AD than they do, right? 148 compared to the 99 and 105 that these guys have. I'm very strong, so I don't mind taking Olaf down here and dying, to be completely honest, because Olaf is already 0-1 with 29 CS. If he dies again and then loses control of his wave again, he's already a whole level down. That's going to put him 2 levels down. So the gap is getting larger and larger. So I'm going to go for this. I'm going to play a little aggressive, try to bounce off the vitals, stay alive. And then Olaf gets a little bit too aggressive, walks up. We still have flash. He has ghost, so it's really hard for him to get away from anything. It's not like he can flash and create a distance, so we get the kill again. So what are we going to do? We're going to take this wave, because we just got the kill. We're going to cut it down to 4 minions so that it freezes, and then we're just going to head out. So we're going to take that cannon, get a few more minions, have it set up for a freeze, and now, boom, we're going to go spend our gold. We have 900 gold. We're going to have 3,000 gold spent compared to his 1,600 when we get back to lane. So I'm slowly building that lead even more and even more. So now I might miss out on a little bit. He got there pretty quick, unfortunate, but I'm able to catch still. So I'm actually going to be level 8 while he's level 6. And like I said, this all comes from that level 1. He could just really cannot play the game anymore. So he's going to go and look for some sort of play because he can't sit here in front of me. He's got no sums. He can't sit here in front of me. So he has to go do something and look for some sort of play, looking for a dive here, which is great because I'm just freezing. So every time that he has to make a roam play like that, 1 minion gone, 2 minions gone, 3 minions gone. I don't have to force anything right now. It's 9 minutes into the game. I still have 5 minutes to work with until the tower plates fall off. So I can be pretty patient with this. I can be pretty slow with this. And then he does go mid and he gets a kill, but it doesn't really, it doesn't really matter when it comes down to this because now the CS gap is getting bigger as well. Now we see him on Kha'Zix in middle and he's pretty low HP. So this is where I feel comfortable and I can go ahead and shove the wave. Now I have a 45 gold or a 45 CS lead. And then I have another big wave that's set up with my ulti available. I am very strong. I've got pickaxe, I've got executioners, I've got a bunch of swords. Don't know how I'm holding all these swords, but I've got like 6 of them. So I'm going to go for my solo dive. So this is what I'm going to go for, right? I do not have parry available, but that's okay. So he's so low that it doesn't really matter as long as I can ult and then use my proper combo, my auto, E, Q, E2. And I'm going to say that a lot because this lane, Olaf, is a lane that you can dive pretty hard as long as you can control the wave. So here we are. This is with no parry, so we just go ahead and ult. And he does get me a little bit around the tower, but we still get the kill. So what does this do? Gap is bigger. The game is over. This game is completely over at this point. He can't play. He can't do anything. And it all came from that level 1, level 2, where we're just avoiding getting hit by the Qs. We're taking those vital trades where we can Q auto and use our movement speed to actually dodge the Qs. And whenever you get caught out, you can always use your parry for disengage. So if he was to have hit that axe at level 1, level 2, I can just use my parry and then Q away. I do have to wait 20 seconds to get it back, but that's okay. That's okay. Olaf is one of those champions where as long as the Q doesn't hit, you can look for the all-in. We just have to make sure that we understand what his abilities do. And after looking at them, we realize that he has a really long cooldown on his Q, right? So and it's only down to 8 seconds, and this is with him leveling it up. The cooldown doesn't really change at all. So it only changes when he gets ability haste. So we can be for certain that it's always going to be 9 seconds as long as we don't get hit with it. And as long as we don't let him pick it back up. And obviously the healing reduction, and then we can just go for it. He's a melee champion, so using our movement speed to basically kite around the target. Let's pull this up real quick.
One eternity later.
This is something that was similar when we did the Garen matchup, where if a target is here and right and they have vitals on the side, as long as they're not melee targets like Olaf, as long as I'm hitting them and then running away, his only way to actually trade with me is through hitting his axes. Because if there's a vital here and I'm here and I just Q off this and then use movement speed to create distance, he can't really trade with me, right? Because I can just run away with the extra movement speed and he can't catch me unless he hits an axe. So, or if I'm here and I want to take this, right, and then I want to move down with the movement speed, and then I'm avoiding the Q, and then I can work for some sort of play where I can reposition and come back in and then look for an all-in when he doesn't have the axe, especially if the axe is going to be right here and he has to walk all the way here. Well, then I can wrap around if he tries to go for it and then go for a play like that. So now we're basically just going to see Olaf not be able to do anything for the rest of the game. I mean, the lane is over. I would have to make some insane mistake to lose this. And I also do want to mention that I am building Ravenous first. I do like to build Ravenous first. I think this is either a Triforce or a Ravenous, or a Triforce or a Divine Mythic type of game. Stride doesn't do anything here because it doesn't slow him when he uses his R. So Divine is obviously going to be really good if he takes like healing reduction on top of his Ignite. And then Triforce is just going to be a lot more damage. So rushing Ravenous just gives you the ability to max out AD so that, you know, I've got 189 AD's got 100, or I've got 190 basically. And I'll be able to fight him because I want to be able to burst him. This lane's all about bursting, all about making sure that I can finish the kill with my combo. And I don't want to go back in for a second combo. I just want to be able to kill him in one go, and that's it. Also, getting the Tiamat last when you're going Ravenous, he's able to shove waves pretty quickly as well. So getting Ravenous, if he does try to like shove and then roam, as long as I have Tiamat with my Ravenous, then I'm able to shove the wave as well and then get tower plates or get the tower off of it too, so it's no big deal. But you see, we're just trading, we're dodging the axes, using our Q to actually weave in and out of the minion wave. I've got a huge lead here. I'm kind of just playing with him. I mean, this lane is just kind of over now. He just can't do any he just can't do anything at all, right? So again, I mean, what happens here? Tries to throw the axe. That's fine. We slow him right back. He's got nowhere to go because he's slowed. He's got no ulti. All he can really do is this. He's going to position. He's trying to get back to his axe so that he can get it and throw it at me. So I'm walking back towards his axe. It's just a weird thing. You just got to play pretty aggressive with it, right? So now he goes for it. I can't get hit by that one or else I won't be able to catch him because it goes. So I have to flash that. And then we just go for the kill here. And then I'm going to die to Gragas, I believe, which is fine. But I mean, after this, we could just fast forward this all the way through. And this guy can't really do anything anymore. He's got 59 CS to my 116. And that's really how you beat Olaf in lane. You survive the level 1, level 2 coin flip. And then you just play aggressive and avoid getting hit by the axes. You're trying to build up damage, so we go Ravenous first so that we can actually get that big burst damage. And he just really can't play the game anymore. It's just kind of over. Anytime he walks in front of me, he just dies. So that's basically it. And now I can split push because I took teleport. Now if I took ignite, split pushing would be much harder. But now I'm able to actually split push properly because of teleport, which is really nice. That's why I prefer teleport, because I feel more confident in this lane. So I feel like I am able to run teleport, not need ignite here, just so I can stay on split and my team can actually get stuff done. Oh, this is a cool play. Okay, we'll just end off the matchup guide with this, right? We'll just end it off with this, and you'll notice that he's 3-9. He tried to go Thorn Mail. He's trying everything he can to actually beat Fiora, but he can't. He can't. So let's just watch this 1v3 real quick. Nice. Getting all the heals. Doing a little bit of dodging. Wonderful. Another kill on Sona. Perfect. After this point, there's no way that you can lose in side lane. So I'm going Hullbreaker because I'm staying on split because I have teleport. My team is pretty good with disengage because they have dashes and they have Janna. And then obviously the Echo being able to use his ulti as well, and Viz from Kha'Zix. So this is why we decided to go Hullbreaker instead of something like Death Stance, because I'm going to be staying on split. But overall, there's no way. I would have to int to lose this lead. I mean, we are up by 4,500 gold by now. So that's really how you play against Olaf in the laning phase. You survive those early levels, you play aggressive, you dodge the axes, and that will lead to a victory screen. And that is the Olaf matchup guide, guys. Sorry I haven't made any matchup guides in a while. It's just kind of weird to find a game where there's not a lot of jungle pressure and it's more of a 1v1 lane. And then you also want to play it basically flawless, basically perfectly. And I don't really play norms or anything like that. It's all ranked games. So it's just a little bit more difficult. And I've done so many now, and I definitely want to get a lot out of there. I want to get like Poppy, I want to get a Lowy. I eventually will get all of them done. Just give me some time, I promise. All right. So until next time, peace out. Love ya. Bye-bye.